The lost episode of The Amazing World of Gumball was never meant to be found. It started when Gumball discovered an old yearbook in the school library. The pages were yellowed with age, and the photos showed students he'd never seen before. But their names were all wrong. Where it should have said Darwin Watterson, it read Marcus Thompson. Where it should have said Penny Fitzgerald, it read Sarah Williams. Every single name was different. Every single face was wrong. But Darwin appeared in every photo, in the exact same position, with the exact same smile. When Gumball showed the yearbook to Darwin, his best friend just stared at him with empty, lifeless eyes. "What yearbook?" Darwin asked, his voice flat and emotionless. "I don't know what you're talking about." That's when Gumball noticed something else. Darwin's reflection in the library window wasn't moving. While Darwin walked around, his reflection stood perfectly still, watching Gumball with those same empty eyes. At school the next day, everyone acted like they'd always known about the yearbook. Miss Simeon was teaching from it instead of their regular textbook. When Gumball raised his hand to point out the problem, she looked right through him as if he wasn't there. During lunch, Gumball sat alone while Darwin joined a table full of other Darwins. 7 identical orange fish, all eating the same food, all making the same movements in perfect unison. They spoke in harmony, their voices creating an eerie echo that filled the cafeteria. The hallways began to stretch impossibly long. Gumball would walk toward his locker, but it kept getting further and further away. Other students walked past him in the exact same rhythm, their footsteps creating a mechanical beat that echoed off the walls. When Gumball finally reached his locker, it was filled with copies of the same yearbook. Dozens of them, all showing the same wrong names, all showing Darwin in every single photo. But now the photos were different. Now Darwin was staring directly at him from every page. Gumball ran home and burst through the front door. His family was sitting at the dinner table with 7 versions of Darwin. They were all having a normal conversation, as if nothing was wrong, as if this was how it had always been. "Who's Darwin?" his mother Nicole asked when Gumball mentioned the name. She pointed to an empty chair at the table. "There's no one here by that name, sweetie." That night, Gumball stared at Darwin's empty bed across the room. The bed that had always been there. The bed that now looked like it had never been slept in. When he looked in the mirror, his own reflection was starting to fade. First his whiskers disappeared, then his ears. Soon there would be nothing left of him at all. The family photos on the wall showed empty spaces where Gumball used to be. His school records had been erased. His friends didn't remember him. Even his own mother looked through him as if he were invisible. Meanwhile, Darwin was everywhere. In every classroom, being the perfect student. In every photo with that same unchanging smile. In every reflection, watching and waiting. Gumball finally understood. He wasn't the main character of this story. He never had been. Darwin was real. Darwin had always been real. And Gumball was just a forgotten dream. The yearbook closed with a soft thud. And somewhere in the empty space where a blue cat used to be, there was only silence.